and welcome to my Flosstube. My name is Esther and I'm the Danish Stitcher. If you're here for the first time, welcome. I hope you like it here and I hope you stay. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so very much for coming back. I really appreciate it. I'm getting very close to 700 subscribers now, which is really amazing. So thank you very much. When I started this channel, I never thought I would get that many. It's really wow. So thank you. Since my last Flosstube, there have been some Flosstubers who have been so kind and mentioning me, and that definitely helped to rise my number of subscribers. So thank you very much to Stitch by Liz and Stitchilonka and Kelly from Animal Instinct. Thank you very much. Okay, before we start with the stitching, I would like a brief life update. I mentioned a bit about it in my whip parade, what had happened. First of all, that I've been working quite a lot. And the month of June was awful. I had so much work. First of all, my students had their exams. I had to make the exam questions, to prepare the exam. I had to go and be a censor on another school. And as if that was not enough, we also had extra meetings with parents that had been postponed because of COVID. That's the first time I had these kind of I think you call them parent-teacher night, but we do them in the afternoon and the beginning of the evening. So this is the first time in my 25 years as a teacher I have had to have talks like that on a Friday afternoon. That was not the most fun thing I've ever done. Well, never that aside, I also had a lot of social arrangement at my work at night. In the last school week alone, I spent 3 evenings at my school. I was so tired. I wasn't the only one tired. My colleagues were tired as well. But that also meant that when I got home, 10 p.m., I was so tired that stitching, not gonna happen. So instead, I was lucky that at that time, around June 1st, Diablo Immortal, a computer game, came out. And this one is for tablets. You can play it on computer, but I prefer to play it on my tablet. I have been playing Diablo on off since 1996, 97, whenever the first Diablo came out. Oh yeah, on the 1st of June, Carsten and I went to Royal Arena in Copenhagen, where we were 15,000 people watching a show with Gabriel Iglesias, this American-Mexican comedian, stand-upper. It was hilarious. I don't remember the last time I laughed that much. And even though it was a bit strange all of a sudden to be among so many people, it was a very nice night. So, since my last video, not my whip parade, but since my last ordinary Flosstube, I have stitched 24,658 stitches. I know that sounds like a lot for many people, and yeah, it is a lot, but not when you're me. Actually, it means that before my holiday, I managed only to stitch about half of what I usually stitch. Let me give you some examples and I'll put them on the screen. So, from the 19th of February till the 25th of March, I stitched an average of 1,007 stitches a day. Of course, you have to bear in mind that this was also the winter periods. That means there wasn't much to do outside. And then from the 26th of May, which was the date of my last Flosstube, and until the 26th of June, which is the period in which I worked a lot, my numbers went down to 426 stitches a day average. There were several days where I didn't stitch at all. I did have some days, especially at the weekends, where I could stitch more than 1,000 stitches, but still. Then the kids had their summer holiday, and I only had to be at work from 9 till 15, from 9 till 3 p.m. That meant I got my evenings back, and my number rose to 610 per day. And now, since the 6th of July until yesterday, my average is now on 847 stitches. So we are climbing up. So as you can see, when my work took most of my energy, my numbers were less than half. I do know that it's not important how much you stitch. And usually, I mean, I think it's fun if I get more than 1,000 stitches per day, then it has been a really good stitching day. But it's not the most important thing for me. The most important thing for me is that I relax while I'm stitching. But as you probably know, this year I have this challenge going, that I can stitch at least 200,000 stitches a year. And that's why I'm very anxious that my numbers of stitches is pretty high. So far, I am at 142,663 stitches. I still got 5 months left for doing 58,000 stitches. That should be possible to reach. But I also know myself that then I would like to aim for 250,000. I'll never stop, huh? Well, anyway. Let's get to the stitching, shall we? I have quite a lot to show you today, and as I mentioned in my last video, I'm going to show some of it as pictures, because that way it will be a lot faster, because I try to keep my videos shorter than 40 minutes, preferably 30 minutes. I have 8 FFOs to show. You can actually see some of them up here. Well, let's get started. I will show the pictures on the screen, and I will give you the information while you watch the photo. So the first one is Cat O' Lantern from Just CrossStitch, Halloween 2020 issue. And that's stitched on 25 count Bianco Antico even weave. Then we have these two from the Witchy stitcher. I think I have mentioned once or twice that she has become my absolute favorite designer. Well, anyway, here we have Leshy and Baba Yaga, and both are stitched on 16 count Ada dirty. I also have the Kikimora, but I haven't stitched it yet, but I get the feeling that it won't be long before I start it. Here we have a bee for Buffy. It's my own design, and it's on 20 count Easy Guide Ada. And the next one is also by me. I call it Normal People, and that's stitched on 20 count Smoky Blue Ada. And this side quest, I love it. I designed it. I also designed this one, and it's on 20 count Silver Gray Ada. So I had made toss a skein to your stitcher, as well as toss a coin to your witcher, and of course I also needed to make Burn Butcher Burn, which is my second favorite song from the show. This one is stitched on 20 count smoky blue Aida, and I used the silk sienna from Misucedas. And here we have another FFO. This was the one I used in the Stitch Along Stitch Beetles with Maria. It's imagined by Orchidley Crafts. I stitched it on 16 count Aida musical notes, and I used the DMC from Stash. And since my last video, I stitched 2,449 stitches on it. So that were my fully finished objects. Now I also have 2 finished objects. And the first one is Monet's Water Lilies Tiny Stitching. It's on 20 count silver grade Aida, and since my last video I stitched 474 stitches on it. And the next one, it's Halloween Town by Madame Chantilly. It's stitched on 16 count Aida, hand dyed by me, and I stitched 809 stitches on it. And I think it looks absolutely amazing. I love it. I haven't decided yet how I want to finish it. If I just want to put it in a frame, or I will put a hanger on it. What do you suggest? How should I finish this one? I love it. I love the colors of it. I love the motifs. I love the houses. So now we come to my whips. I got 16 today because I couldn't help myself and start. I think I have about 7 or 8 new starts since my last video. I just got rid of 2 and put 5 on the death row of my whips, and now I have 8 new starts. Anyway, I'm going to show those I worked the least on, like I did the last time. That means just in a video with some music, so it will probably take a minute or so, and then we can come back to those I worked the most on. So have fun. Now to the whips I'm going to show you live, or whatever you call it. The first one is also by Madame Chantilly, or Chantilly. Actually, I don't know how you pronounce it. It's en retard. It's stitched on 16 count Aida Misty Blue, and I stitched 175 stitches on it. And I think it's going to be just as gorgeous as Halloween Town. The next one is a new start, and it's a mystery stitch along. It's the Buffy style from Stitch Up by Lauren. The first time we got the frame, and the second time it was the big bad from season 1, and then the big bad from season 2. It's stitched on 18 count silver Lurex, hand dyed by me, and I stitched 1,495 stitches on it. If you know it, you might notice that my angelus look a bit different than the other people's. And if you follow me on Instagram, you also know why. I just don't like angelus. For me, Angel Angelus, that's the same. He is the same guy, even though he claims differently. So anyway, his hair is a bit different because I I decided to do his hair like the Buffy bot says it is, because the Buffy bot, who belongs to Spike, says his hair goes straight up and he's bloody stupid. And I can only agree with that. And that's why I did his hair like this. And I love the result. And the designer herself likes it too, so. Cheers, by the way, talking about Buffy. This is my Buffy mug. The next one is my temperature houses. I'm not up to date. I'm almost up to date and then not, because as you can see, I just put in the threads for the days and I think I'm 1 or 2 days behind. Because my new plan for this one is that I will every 3rd or 4th day put in the threads so that it's very easy to start stitching. And then when I'm on Zoom chats, I will stitch it. But otherwise I will, or when I'm in the car, I can stitch this as well. Because then it's an easy stitch and I don't have to think that much. But I like the way it turns out. The next one is the game sampler, and of course I made a capuchon with Diablo Immortal's logo. That's very suitable for a game sampler, wouldn't you say so? I forgot to say, on the temperature houses I stitched 1,608 stitches since the last time. It could have been more if I had stitched up to date. Well, anyway, this game sampler is from Screaming Hart Design, and it's stitched on 16 count Ada Café au lait, and I used the silks from Miss Usida's called Avatar, as well as DMC 3100 and 310, and I did 1,685 stitches on it since the last time, and I still love it. And when I'm finished with this row, I'm actually done with the first part of it. It was not ready for Pattern Keeper, and as you probably know, I do not stitch on stuff I cannot put into Pattern Keeper or Markup XP. And therefore, in order to import it to Pattern Keeper, I had to import it twice. That means as 2 different patterns, and now I'm almost done with the first one. So we got 2 more to go. The next one is my Buffy sampler. I have stitched quite a lot on it since the last time. I stitched 4,620 stitches and backstitching. So let's see. It's so big. So since the last time I've been stitched, I will show you the whole thing after. I stitched these backstitching and these. I stitched some of the pentagram. I began on this one. I stitched this book and filled it out while I was having a very pleasant conversation with Kelly from Animal Stitches. Hope we can do that soon again, Kelly. And I filled out the bee also while chatting to Kelly. I started filling out this book, but I will save that until the next Zoom chat. And then I began, where is it? It's here. I started on some backstitching here, but yellow is not good. I mean, you have to, I can read it, yeah, but so I'm actually thinking, I don't want to frog it, but I'm thinking of stitching it. Yeah, I think I have to frog it and then maybe use orange instead. Which color do you think I should use instead? Now you can see everything here. So which color do you think I should use instead? let me know in the comments, yeah? Well, the last one, I think you already guessed which one it is. Of course, it's the Supernatural Cell by the Witchy Stitcher. And it's an 18 count silver lurex, hand dyed by me, and it's up to date. I am looking forward to receiving the third monster or third creature tomorrow. I love it. I absolutely love it. And last time the werewolf, we got it already, I think between 8 and 10 a.m. our time. Usually we don't get it until 6-7 p.m. But as I understood it in her Facebook group, she's at least once or twice will do it like that. Actually, I do hope that the next one will not come out until in the evening, because I have plans for dyeing floss tomorrow. So, but I really love this one. I'm probably not able to be up to date as much as I am right now because I have holiday. But if I can just keep up until my holiday is over, then that's all right as well. Okay, and now it's time for Hi and welcome to Creators Corner. Today I'm going to show you some of the fabrics I dyed recently. And of course I have some haul. Actually, that's not of course. I know I usually have haul. But the first month after my last Flosstube, I had absolutely zero haul. I didn't have any time to buy anything. And then I bought some fabric. Well, hey, I want to dye. I really love to dye. And I think it's really one of the bigger rabbit holes because my fabric drawers are full now. I have way too many fabrics, way too much fabric. Which is also why I'm going to make a giveaway in this Flosstube. Actually, the reason for doing the giveaway is because let me see, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I actually reached 500 subscribers on Flosstube. That's amazing. Thank you very much. And therefore I decided I would give 5 pieces of fabric away, fabric hand dyed by me. I'm going to show you by the end of this video. So stay tuned. So now I'm going to show you some of the fabrics I dyed. And so far these fabrics are for me. I don't know what I'm going to stitch on it, but I'll probably find something. So the first one is Hadanga. Maybe I should, you know, when I dye, usually I can see straight away. You know, when I dye, I can usually immediately see whether I'm content with the dyeing result or not. Sometimes, it doesn't happen that many times, but sometimes I don't see it until I actually iron the stuff 2 or 3 times. Usually I iron my hand dyed fabric 3 times. Once when it's still moist, and second when it's almost dry, and then the third time when I put it into these plastic bags just before. This is how I store them. These are plastic bags made for for fabric. And then I made these stickers here. So it's very easy for me. I don't have to write that much. I can just do like that. So anyway, this first one is Hardanger 22 count. And it was awful the first time around. The first time I dyed it. But this time I like it. It's, yeah, it does look pale lilac this time, but sometimes it turns out rosa, and it's not. It is lilac. So this time I had 4 pieces where I didn't like the result, and I had to re-dye them the day after. The next one is 20 count opalescent Ada. I love the way it looks now. There ain't much modeling in it, or whatever you say, marbling or whatever. There's a bit, but not much. But anyway, I think it turned out wonderfully. By the way, I chose these plastic bags, and I could have chosen them in crinkly paper. But since my surgery, this sound of crinkling paper, it goes straight into my head. I really can't stand it. So that's why I chose these. And this one is a Pamillan that's kind of like Ada. As you can see, it's kind of like Ada. This one, the modeling turned out wonderfully, as you can see. And as I said, I haven't got a clue what I'm going to stitch on these, but eventually I will find something. And the last one of these 4 is Hardanger 22 count. It looks quite a lot like the first one, as you can see. A bit more modeling in it. And now to those where I was happy with the result right away. The first one is a 16 count opalescent Ada. I mean, if I were to stitch mermaids, I would definitely stitch it on this one. Or maybe the next one I'm going to show you. This is absolutely wonderful, I think. This one is 18 count and still opalescent. That would also go very well with a mermaid, but I do not stitch mermaids, so I will have to find something else to stitch in it. And I think I will be able to do that. The next one is opalescent 28 count. And it looks like this. That might be good for a Halloween piece, since it has those purple and green colors. This one is a 32 count even weave with a light blue marbling, whatever you call it. That's always a bit confusing what I should call that pattern in the middle of it. On my Instagram, I showed with yellow colors, and I'm going to show you those fabrics here as well. But I showed you with yellow colors how much it can differ, even though I put it in the same plastic bag. That means they are exposed to the same colors, the same colorways. This first one is 18 count silver lurex. It looks poisonous green, I think. I love it. It's perfect for something Halloweenish, I think. And the next one in the same plastic bag is 18 count opalescent Ada. As you can see, it's way more green. Maybe you can't, but I'm going to show you them next to each other in a moment. And then we have this per million 22 count, which looks like this. So these three all got the same colors. They were put in the same plastic bag. But as you can see, they differ quite a lot. And now we get to the yellow ones. This is a 20 count opalescent Ada. Very bright colors. And with orange, and I think it's black I used. I think it's beautiful. But that's easy to say since I'm the one who dyed it. The next one is 18 count silver lurex Ada. Also quite bright with a little more red colors. Orange. It depends. I mean, even though I used a big plastic bag, of course, the amount of different colors depend where I put the colors when I put the color in the bag. And the last one is, of the yellow ones, is a 28 count. As you can see, it's way more, maybe you can't see it. It's way more, but it is way more pale, but with a lot of colors. I think this one was the one on top of the plastic bag. But I think this one would be quite nice for some kind of springy project maybe. And again, as you can see, quite different results. The last two ones were also put in the same bags, and this first one is 32 count opalescent, and it looks like this. And the last one is Hardin. As you can see, they look quite, they almost look the same. But so sometimes I can get lucky and even get them to look very much alike, even though they're two different kind of fabrics. But since I do not dye with a recipe, I never know how the result will be. Which is also why I sometimes have to re-dye. Haul. I bought some more acid dye, and it doesn't show the colors correctly, but anyway, this is pistachio. It does, there it is. And oxblood, and the colors are darker in real life. And platinum, that's a kind of silver gray. Cabernet, and Caribbean blue. Oops. And sapphire blue. I also bought a tongue. I don't know if I'm going to use it because I do wear gloves while dyeing, but maybe this would be nice because for dyeing floss it might be easier. It was cheap, so. And yeah, I bought some mini frames, as you can see, for my tiny stitching. This one I have to figure out how to use it because you can only lift here and then put it in because it's closed, but I will eventually figure out. Otherwise I will just take that off and then I'll just use the frame. Anyway, I already have the first one. I just need to figure out how to finish it. I think it looks absolutely amazing. It doesn't fit the frame 100%, but isn't it cute? I think it's very cute. And I'm going to put it on when it's done, I'm going to put it on an easel and display it. I think it's so cute. Well, what else did I buy? Of course the fabric, but I already dyed the fabric. Misusitas. It had been a while since my last shopping spree at Misusitas, so I decided it was time to go there again. So first of all, I do that every time I shop in her shop. I shop some of her black silks, even though I do have, yeah, I just ordered an extra cone of 310 because I could get it, and because you never know when you run out. I can hear that in the States it's very difficult to get hold of it, and I use a lot of 310. But for some projects, I did ask her if she could not make hangs of this, but so far, no. So therefore I buy this black silks every time I shop. I buy some of them, some skeins of them, because the coverage is fantastic compared to 310. I'm not a stitcher that where the coverage bothers me very much, but sometimes I just like that the coverage is really nice. She was also so kind and gave me a little gift. 2 more needle minders from my needle minder collection. They are so cute. And then she gave me 2 new colorways. The green is called Hope and the red orange is called Love, and they're absolutely gorgeous. And in case it doesn't show it correctly, I will put up a photo on how the color really looks. I will see that when I start editing. And then, of course, no shopping without hanks. This is Pride. It's absolutely fantastic. I really love these colors. And maybe you noticed that this Keep Calm and Listen to Beatles, I actually stitched in this colorway. And then she had a new colorway called Pippa, named after the colors of her dog. And it's gorgeous. And I think it actually shows the color pretty well here. Isn't it just magnificent? And I haven't got a clue what I'm going to stitch with it, but I will find something. It's just wonderful. Yeah. I also bought some patterns because I don't have any patterns. But you know, sometimes you just see a pattern and you just gotta have it. I am sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about, right? So I saw this one finished on Instagram. It's called Happy Haunting by Lola Crow CrossStitch, and I immediately went to her shop and purchased it. Because those little ghosts, they are just so cute. From Teeny Weeny X Stitch, I bought 20 tiny cross stitch with sites from all over the world. I actually bought them because of the Colosseum, but there are more I'm going to stitch. And I do have the frames already, and I can always get more of these frames, I think. I also bought from Christie's Corner the Fangs Out to support. And then I went to Forbidden Fibers, even though I didn't think I could get those patterns I knew they had. The patterns from Buffy, the patterns of Willow, Sandra, and Giles, Spirit, Mind, and Hart. And I would so love to stitch it, but if it's on paper, it will cost me all those damn taxes. So I just went to look at them, and then all of a sudden I noticed, hey, I can buy them as a PDF. Yay! And so I did. And I will probably start them quite soon, I think. Okay. That was Curator's Corner for this time. No, I forgot one thing. A frogging tool. It's a mascara brush, but it's very good for frogging. You know, to remove when you have frogged, and then to remove if there are any thread left. Actually, I got quite a lot of them because I had to buy a package of them, but then I have a lot of them, and I can also give some of them away as a little extra. For example, in my giveaway with my hand-dyed fabric. And this is the last thing for today. So let's see which fabrics you can win. Of course, you can only win one of the fabrics. By the way, I will send everywhere. That means if you live in the North Pole or South Pole, I probably won't. But if you live in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, America, whatever, I will send it. Asia, I will send it there. Okay? I will send it as regular mail, which also means that if it will get lost in the mail, it's just too bad. I will not send you another one. I can't, because they are unique. I only have one of each, right? So, of course, all the things that people always say, you have to be 18 so I can ask for your mailing address. And do not use word as giveaways, prize, winning, stuff like that in the comments. Be sure that you spell the word correctly, because this time I chose words from Diablo Immortal. That can be words of people, characters, or places. So, of course, I will put the words down here, but just be careful that you spell it correctly, that you spell it the way I spelled it, because otherwise the command picker will not include you, and that would be a shame, wouldn't it? The first one you can win is a 32 count even weave. It's opalescent and it's Zweigart, and it's 46 by 66 centimeters. I'm sorry, you have to figure that out if you use inches. So 46 by 66 centimeters. So I think it's almost a fat quarter. And it looks like this. If you would like to win this one, you will use the word Whirlstone in your comment. And I put it down here, Whirlstone. So if you would like to win this, use the word Whirlstone. Number 2 is a 14 count opalescent Ada, also Zweigart. It's 50 by 51 centimeters. It has a lot of pastel colors, I think you could call it. If you would like to win this one, you will use the word Frozen Tundra. That's usually in 2 words, but this time you have to write it in 1 word. So the word is Frozen Tundra. The next one is a 32 Zweigart opalescent even weave, and it's 47 by 66 centimeters, and it's very yellow with a bit of modeling in it. And it looks like this. And the color is, it's more yellow than it looks. I don't know how I could, can show it. Maybe this will help. Maybe like this. But anyway, it's a nice, I think it's a nice yellow. It's not that pale. Anyway, if you would like to win this one, you will use the word Jardin. Jardin. The second last here is Zweigart Silver Lurex, 18 count, and it's 47 by 69 centimeters. And it looks like this. It's more pink than red. But as you can see, it's a pretty big piece. And it's this silver lurex. So it's not opalescent, but silver lurex. And I have found out, do not turn it this way when you stitch on it. Turn it this way, then it's way easier to find the holes. Just a little tip. So if you would like to win this one, you will use the word necromancer. That's the character I'm playing in Diablo Immortal. So necromancer, if you would like to win this. This last one. Hello, Felix. What? It's not Felix, it's Quintus. I don't think you ever saw Quintus, did you? Hi. I think he's the only one who hasn't made a cameo. But that's Quintus. And he doesn't like this. Huh? But now at least you don't talk. So the last one is actually a linen. When I bought this Thea Governor, one of her kits, that was linen, because it was sold out with the Ada, so I thought, okay, I'll just buy it with the linen, and then I can color the linen and yeah, whatever. So the linen looks like this. I actually think it looks pretty well. I do not know, I don't think it's Zweigart, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's 32 or 36, but anyway, it's 28 by 59 centimeters. And I think it's actually looking pretty good. If you would like to win this linen, you will use the word Didessa. Didessa. Okay, that was it for now. So because I showed all these fabrics and have the giveaway, I'm not sure that I can keep this video below 40 minutes, but well, I hope you have enjoyed the video. I hope you would like to participate in my giveaway. I think I will let this giveaway run until the 1st of August. Yeah, until the 1st of August. And on the 1st of August, I will draw the winners. And then I will just put it in the next video. That in case I will make a Flosstube before, which I probably won't. But if I do, I will just refer to this video in case people want to participate in the giveaway. Because I will only use the comment picker for this video. So yeah, I think that was it. And otherwise, I'll see you again sometime in August. I will start working at home from the 1st of August, but I'm not supposed to meet up at my work until the 4th or 5th of August. That means I would probably have time to make another Flosstube just before I start work, because I do know how busy I'm going to be the first 2 weeks after school starts again. So until then, take care. Bye.